This action research project is all about an exploration and evaluation of practice, my practice. I will delve into my past pedagogical approach, allowing me to critically reflect and apply my own ideas and literature to improve my thinking and thus my teaching practice in the future. McNeath 2016. This research will be conducted within Canleyvale, a low SES and highly multicultural suburb located in southwestern Sydney, with 37% of households earning in the lowest quartile and 84.5% of families having both parents born overseas. This adds to the complexity of the school. Subsequently, Canleyvale Public School, CVPS, is a large, dynamic and complex government primary school with 860 students. 97% of students have English as an additional language or dialect, with Vietnamese, Chinese and Khmer the most highly represented cultures. The school has a strong academic focus, and this is evident in the Year 5 NAPLAN results, where students achieved close to or above average results in writing, grammar, spelling and numeracy compared to all other Australian students. The school also recognises the growing significance of science and technology and have employed a specialist science RFF teacher. There is a focus on developing the whole child with numerous extracurricular activities, including dance and choir. Furthermore, developing student voice through programs such as Student Representative Council and debating suggests a whole school approach aligned with dialogic pedagogies. This research will be implemented in a Stage 1 mainstream class consisting of 14 boys and 10 girls. The student profiles are diverse and varied, with a small percentage of students having learning difficulties. Others requiring extension, and 95% of students with language backgrounds other than English. Approximately 75% of students perform at or above stage expected levels across all learning areas. The classroom teacher has 15 years teaching experience and employs a constructivist approach. She has developed an insider classroom to help students to be a part of the learning community and values each individual by giving personalized feedback, encouraging student voice and developing their self-efficacy. Teo 2019 describes the use of dialogic pedagogies as a process where teachers create situations and environments that are conducive to students constructing their own knowledge. These students are said to use a questioning stance as well as being mutually respectful when tactically negotiating and discussing in their social learning experiences. Dialogue between fellow students and teachers encourages self-assessment, communities of reflection, and other relevant conversations that further student discovery and deeper understanding. In my previous PPP1 experience, I didn't always engage my students by conversing with them about how we were going to plan the lesson together. This would have given us the opportunity to communicate and communally construct a plan for what our thoughts or our hypothesis could be, and how we could prove or disprove it through experimentation. This method would have been much more inclusive and engaging. This could have led to my students having much higher affective, cognitive, and operative experiences with the class creating their own understanding together. It's clear to me now that the use of embedded dialogic pedagogies would have improved the outcome in my early lessons. Using the Me framework to determine where high CO and A engagement was lacking, as well as determining where messages within the classroom could have been improved, it is possible to see how putting the power back into the students' hands and the classroom community could also have led to high engagement indicators. Indicators such as going beyond the brief of lesson outcomes without delving or deviating from the main themes. Students' dedication through meticulous care as opposed to merely following a list of instructions. This would have been in line with the already established principles and concepts at Canley Vale Public. This science unit of work consists of 6 lessons and focuses on delving and developing an understanding of how materials are used for specific purposes. This will be tied in with experiments and experiences during NAIDOC Week to help facilitate a deeper and more authentic understanding of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures. The main outcome for this unit is from the material world strand in the K-6 syllabus. Embedded within this unit is also a heavy focus on working scientifically in the questioning, predicting, planning, and investigating areas. English and geography outcomes are also addressed, as well as a cross-curriculum priority and general capabilities. The next 3 slides outline the 3 main learning experiences in much more detail. In a fair go classroom, especially those within a low SES cohort, engagement both in the short term and long term needs to be aided by the creation of an insider classroom. Such classrooms help students to be comfortable, to take risks, and test the boundaries of their understanding. Arthur and Hertzberg, 2013, show that teacher messages, the learning environment, and the design of the teaching and learning experiences combine to show students they are valued and belong in the school community. The scientific method emphasizes the value in hypothesizing, testing, and learning from mistakes or misunderstandings. This is a major part of learning itself. Being wrong is just a platform for improvement and deeper understanding. It must be embraced for progress to occur. Authentic embedded feedback and assessment through discussions, experiments, and reflections aid to reinforce this. McNeef 2016 lists observations as a type of reconnaissance, as well as an appropriate first step to consider. My learning experiences will feature a narratively embedded press conference where groups will take part in a presentation on their work after each lesson. It emulates a NASA scientist or even a research and development team revealing a new product. These presentations will be recorded on group iPads to be used as a resource, as well as data collection for myself. An observation schedule will be used to further quantify the data. As McNeef 2016 also stipulates, it is important to take ethical considerations into account. Permission to record the students in this fashion must first be obtained from parents and/or caregivers. Exit cards will be used at the end of the experiences to assess understanding, progress, and needs. My final data source will be detailed notes of student interactions in their groups, including responses to teacher questions, peer dialogue, and work stimuli, hopefully showing progression of skill and understanding. The data I collect must show a clear connection between the embedded use of dialogic pedagogies and substantive student engagement, while also linking to my key focus of science and technology. The list clearly outlines what is required from each lesson and should be clearly identified in the data. Evidence of high operative, cognitive, and affective engagement is in learning, as well as science and technology, can be quantified via observation schedules, questionnaires, and adherence to outcome descriptors. The following slides show more observation schedules, exit cards, and a deeper relationship to science and technology. The science and technology syllabus shows that communicating and comparing ideas performing strategic roles in groups to cooperatively plan, produce, and improve scientific outcomes are all key aspects showing success in this unit. They are also key components of the dialogic pedagogy utilized in this action research. McNeef 2016 states that the process of selecting relevant data to act as evidence is generally known as content analysis. Furthermore, the data reveals trends that speak to researchers, producing evidence corroborating or debunking findings. Therefore, making a determination of what data points are most appropriate is of paramount importance to this research. It needs to show whether or not significant student engagement has occurred. Recordings of student presentations with the aid of observations schedules will produce evidentiary data on CO&A engagement, enthusiasm, connection making, progress, and understanding. This data generates trends to be used as evidence showing upwards or downwards momentum regarding engagement. Private and social student reflections and conversations generate further information from differing perspectives. The ME framework helps to guide an understanding of these factors. All actors in the research utilize and engage in dialogic pedagogies throughout the science and technology lessons. Dialogic pedagogy impact can be quantified by comparing prior use of differing pedagogies with a focused examination of engagement, understanding, and academic achievement. Prior academic achievement would have already been recorded as a normal aspect of practice. Engagement and understanding data is collected primarily via student reflection and teacher observations or notes. If positive trends for these areas increase after the change is implemented, impact can be evaluated favorably and accepted. Some affordances include open-ended data sources showing potential for quantitative and qualitative data, utilizing 3 different sources from both students and teachers, thus reducing preconceptions and biases. Some limitations include how this research is limited by its relatively small scale and would benefit from including more students with a more diverse array of backgrounds and ages. Information is compared with historical data that wasn't collected with the same methods as the current research and often depends on potentially unreliable memories. It may also be considered unethical to return students to a pedagogy that is hypothesized to be inferior for the purposes of comparison alone. This action research project has given me the means to understand the value of research and its role in self-improvement, showing me that critically reflective practices allow for deeper understanding, while a detachment from the information via critical data analysis and interpretation helps to inform what is working, what and where to improve, as well as how pedagogy has impacted the students I teach. Lewin's action research model, as cited by McNeef 2016, demonstrates a deeper connection to science and technology and the scientific method, showing me that the way forward in my teaching professional development and my association with science and technology are intrinsically linked. Acting, observing, reflecting, replanning, and acting out the new plan is a model that can be utilized across the curriculum in life, scientifically, and through professional development without exception. A focus on dialogic pedagogy would also seem to be an appropriate factor to use moving forward. This action research relates directly to the teaching standards and allows me to reflect on my capabilities as a beginner teacher and understand where to next in my professional aspirations and teaching skill. As seen in the current slide, this action research links to all 7 standards. However, the implications are particularly significant for standards 1 and 3. In standard 1, an understanding of how students learn both the content knowledge within science and technology as well as the working scientifically and design and production skill focuses is particularly important. In standard 3, ensuring I enable opportunities to develop critical and creative thinking strategies, allowing students to evaluate their thinking and engage in the development of ideas with science is crucial. I will continue to use these frameworks and guidelines to critically reflect on my practice in order to improve student outcomes and enrich the lives of everyone within my class. Thank you.